Hey gamers, welcome back to another Polytopia video. In this video, I'll be giving you a guide and introduction to all of the mechanics and how to play the Battle of Polytopia. Let's start with the starting screen. There's a lot of buttons here, so I'll just start with these three in the dead center. I'll cover the rest of it in later videos. So the first two buttons are pretty much single player, where you can play against bots, and the bottom button is multiplayer. I recommend you start with single player. Now, the first time you press new game, it will automatically take you to the boot camp or the tutorial of the game. Now, since I have played this game, it will not do that, but you can always find the boot camp in this option below. Going into the bootcamp, we have a lot of different things happening all at once, but I'll give you a bit of an introduction for the current icons that we have. So first of all, in the top left, we have the score, which is kind of the game's way of tracking how good or civilized your tribe really is. The score is not too impactful to the game. You just don't need to worry about that at the moment. The middle is the stars, which is pretty much the money of the game. This is the more important thing that you should worry about. In the top right of the stars, in those brackets, are the stars per turn that you have. So currently, each turn, I will be receiving 2 stars or 2 coins or money or whatever you want to call it. Finally, to the right of the screen, you have the turns. And those just indicate how many turns have passed. The way this game works is it's a turn-based strategy game. So you do your turn, then your opponent does your turn, kind of like chess, except you can do a lot of different things in one single turn rather than just move one piece. Polytopia is a tile-based game, so it's split into all of these tiles. Every tribe starts with a city and a unit. Because this is the boot camp, they actually haven't had a unit here that you start with, and they want you to just start by harvesting fruit. I'll explain how all of the tile interactions work at a later point of the video. For now, just select the tiles that have fruit near your city and just press harvest. Press the explorer icon. Don't worry, I'll explain all of that later. And select the city to train a warrior. At the end of this turn, we actually cannot do anything else. So we just press end turn, and now we can actually move our warrior. So to move our warrior, all we have to do is select it. And warriors kind of move like kings in chess, if you've played the game, except they can't move onto some of the tiles. For example, water tiles and also mountain tiles. So the tutorial wants me to move onto this village right here, and all I have to do really is move this warrior to the left, towards that village, and as I press end turn, all of the units interactions refresh, so I can do anything I want with that warrior again. Now, as you can see at the top, I have 6 stars with 3 stars per turn, so I can actually select the city and train another warrior. So I've ended my turn, and I'll just move on to this village. Now, the way it works is I can capture this village next turn, so I have to move my unit onto the village, then press end turn, and voila, right here, I can select the unit, or I can just press the capture icon, and there we go. Now, as you can see, there's not a lot that I can do currently with this game. I mean, I can move my units, I can train some warriors, but aside from that, I can't get onto these water terrains, I can't get onto these mountains, and that's what the tech tree is for here. The tech tree has a lot of really cool techs that all have their own mechanisms, but we'll just take it slow and get ourselves hunting as per the bootcamp. Now, this is where the bootcamp ends, but as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do. There's all of a sudden riders, archers, defenders, peace treaties. Like, there's a lot you can do, and that's kind of what I want to show in this game. So I'm not actually going to worry about these animals. For now, my goal is to just take over this entire board, capture as many villages as I can, defeat the tribe that we are playing against, our opponent, and that'll just end the first kind of game. I don't want to just throw everything at you and all of a sudden make you want to quit because of how complicated it is. So we're just gonna move our units, explore towards the fog tiles, see what we can find. Train some more warriors. There we go, there's another village, so I'll move on to that. And I'll go on to here, there's another village. Now, as you can see, this terrain is... Actually, I'll point this out now. This terrain is different, with different fruit, different forest, farms, fish. Well, the fish and the farms are always the same, but different fruit, different forest, different mountains than these. That's because each specific type of tribe, each specific civilization, and generally each opponent has different terrain. So this terrain is to the Chinchi tribe. We are playing as the Imperius, as you can see down here. And all of the mechanics for all of the basic tribes are the same. It's just the terrain is slightly different. And you can also identify where your opponent is based on the terrain. So there's somewhere here. Regardless, I'll end turn. Move my warrior into the village. Capture this village. And just try to expand. The bot here is set to easy, so you don't have to really worry about necessarily losing to the bot, as long as you're just spamming all these warriors and just kind of moving around. And there we go. So this is, as you can see, there is borders between the cities. All of these tiles are ours, and these borders show a enemy tribe's borders. So most likely, this is where the Chinchi city is, or somewhere here. Regardless, we can now see exactly where kind of our opponent is. So we'll now move towards our opponent. We have all of our units. Capture all of our villages. Train more warriors. And there we go. You kind of start to get ahead of the basics now. You just end turn, move warriors, end turn again, and yada yada. So as we move in, we will meet our opponent, which is the Chinchi tribe. Leader Shayozu bows in awe of our mighty civilization. Yeah, they should be. And each time you meet a tribe, you get stars. Onto the left here, you may have noticed a ruin. And these ruins are very valuable. They can contain a lot of interesting, different variety of benefits. So I can move my warrior towards it and onto it next turn, and it works just like villages where you have to move onto it, but only you can capture it next turn. Now also in some cities you can't train warriors. This is because they have a population cap or a maximum. It wouldn't make sense for such a small city such as this one to train 5,000 warriors to fill up the entire square. But because we've leveled up our city in the beginning with the fruit, we can train a few more warriors here. And actually, if you notice these squares or rectangles below the title, you can see dots in each one. And that signifies how many warriors or how many units you have trained from this city. So I've trained 2 units from here, and that means that it has filled up and I can't train any more units. Same with here, because we're just spamming warriors here. By the way, you may have noticed that despite me moving this warrior, it is still kind of flashing actively. And this is because this warrior can also attack after moving. So in chess, you can only really move a piece, and that's it. You can take by moving it, but you can't move and then take. But here, because this warrior has a particular skill, you can attack after moving. So as I select this unit, you can see a red circle around Chinchi. This means I can attack them. And there we go. To the top left of the unit, you may notice a number. That is their health. That's all you really need to look at. Of course, if you press the bottom left, you can see all of their information here. And I'll get to it in a second, what all of this stuff means. But for now, you can just move and hit units. If it reaches 0, it obviously dies. And it works like in chess as well, where you take it. So if you kill this unit, you move on to the tile that it was on. So I've pretty much done everything I could this turn, so I'll just end turn. One of the things you can do, aside from moving and attacking, is also recover. in the home position on your terrain, you can recover for 4 health in a single turn, but on regular terrain outside of your borders and inside of enemies, you can only recover for 2. So if I heal this warrior, it goes from 5 to 7. And I'll move onto the ruin and we'll see what we get. So there we go, it works just like a village, except now the ancient ruins are filled with valuable resources. So I get 10 stars from the ruin. So we can also capture this village. And as you capture a village, the population tag on this particular unit actually shifts to that village. So I can actually train a unit in this city, because pretty much what this unit did is it went from here to here to here to here. It was trained here, but now, because I captured this village, it's now under the tag of the village domus. And so now I can train a warrior here. Now, unfortunately, you do need 3 units to take out, 3 warriors to take out the warrior over here. So if I just blindly attack it, it won't actually kill it, as you can see. When units fall below 4 health, they start to have this red little number. And I'll just move units before ending turn. So here, Chinchi, they start with climbing, which basically allows them to go on mountains. And if you also notice, next to their 10 health icon, they also have a shield, which means they get like a defense bonus. This is why I can't take out this city. Normally it takes 2 warriors, but because they got a shield icon, because they're on their city, I actually can't kill it with 2 warriors. And the same with here. If I hit this unit and I had another warrior, I wouldn't be able to kill it because of that shield icon. Moving on. There we go, my opponent kills one of the units and they decide to heal. So now what I can do is I can hit this. I don't have to move to hit, by the way. I can just straight up hit. I can move in. And if you see these droplets, that means it's just, you can just take the unit. There we go, I've sieged this city, and as it says, we'll be ready to capture next turn. So if I get to keep that siege, I can just destroy the tribe, unless it has any more cities, which I don't see that they do. This is a village, and villages have borders within 3 tiles, so I can't see any borders here either. And villages can't spawn on corners, by the way. So this is the only city that they have. Now, as you can see, they do have the 2 warriors. This warrior can just hit, and this warrior can move in and take. Now, this is a very, very low elo bot, so it might not take. We'll see. Oh no, yep, there we go. It has taken back that city, so unfortunately I don't get to capture it. Moving all of the units. The solution here really is just to spam all the warriors. Again, this is a very low difficulty tribe. And I'll just pass turn. So this is where a healing option might be good. This warrior can one-shot this warrior. Actually, a little tip. If you select a unit and then you hold on another unit, you can see the damage indicator. So as you can see, the skull means that that unit will be killed by this unit over here. But if I select this unit and maybe attack with this, now because this unit is very far away, it's not proper damage calculator, so it only says 5, but it'll take 5 damage back here as well if it attacks. So what I want to do here is recover, because since this unit can be one-shot right now, I mean, I can also take out this warrior as well, but I'll just recover because now the unit can't be taken out. And I'll use this warrior right here to take out the other 5 HP warrior and just move in. Can't train a warrior here anyway. There we go. Capture a village. As you can see, the population moves on from here to here, so I can train another warrior. And there we go. got a bit of a land here as well. This is a type of lake. There we go, my opponent's really trying now. But as I've mentioned, all you need is 3 warriors. So I'll just shift this warrior here. Move in. Just kill the warrior. Kill the warrior that is on the capital. And kill this warrior. And there we go. Now, because this is a mode of perfection, you actually don't end the game when you've killed all the tribes. Here, as you can see, all the tribes are dead. And that's why in the top right of turn, you can see 16 out of 30. This mode is perfection, or boot camp, it's called. But pretty much, in normal games, you win by destroying all of the tribes. But there is also a game mode called perfection, where... Or actually, if I just quit right now and show you, we have regular domination. There's play until there is only 1 tribe left with no time limit. And then we also have perfection here, where the score matters a lot. You win by having the maximum amount of score. Your goal is to have the most score pretty much in 30 turns. Resetting the bootcamp, I want to start introducing you the idea of cities, population, and other things that I've kind of missed. Because as you've seen, there's these animals, there is these fruit, and farms, fish, water. There's a lot of different types of tiles. And all I really did this game was train warriors and just kind of move them and explore. So the way population and cities work is you start with a very, very small city, as you can see here, and it only produces 2 stars per turn. Now, your capital, by default, produces 1 extra, but villages that are captured produce 1 star per turn when they're initially captured, if that makes sense. So you start with 1 star, and then because this is your capital, it's 1 extra star per turn. Your capital is just the city you start with. Now, to grow the city, you have to grow population. These rectangles at the bottom not only indicate how many units you can train with those black dots, but also how much population you need to upgrade that city. So a field with fruit adds 1 population to the city. And as you can see, the bar fills halfway, and I need 1 more population to grow the city. When I upgrade the city, we get some bonuses. So in this game, it only gives me the bonus of Explorer. But later on, you can, as you capture all these villages, you get multiple different choices for what type of rewards you want. And I'll go over each one. Going as per the tutorial, I'll just end turn and train warriors, move on to villages, yada yada. There you go. Boom. And it's also good to just move your units in various directions. This is the exact same map because this is the boot camp. They use the exact same map for the boot camp. So it's just going to be a little bit easier to get the hang of these new concepts that I'm introducing. So I capture the village, and now we unlock hunting, or the tech tree as per the boot camp. Now by default, you get access to the text tree straight away. You get access to the end turn straight away. You can do whatever you want in the regular game. Because this is the boot camp, it's tried to be very linear and straightforward. But it's very sandbox type game in the beginning, especially, where you can choose to do whatever you want, pretty much. Now, as we got hunting, by the way, we can hunt these animals. So by default, you have the regular field tiles, which do pretty much nothing. Your regular units can walk on them. Then we have the fruit tiles, which you can use to harvest the fruit next to the villages. And you can only harvest the fruit or really interact with any of the tiles within your terrain. So each village has a border, a very clear border. And in this border, you can do a lot of cool things. Like, for example, harvesting these animals. So each animal gives 1 population. And as you can see, fills up by 1, fills up by 2. And now it will be upgraded. So this is the reward for upgrading from a level 2 city to level 3. For the first 4 levels, you have unique different upgrades. As you start getting a hang of it, it'll be a lot more kind of simpler. It's only, the variation is only like 8 or 10, so it's not too bad. Anyway, you have the option between a city wall or some resources. So a city wall pretty much makes it much more difficult to siege that city if you have the warrior on it. So as you remember, when we were trying to siege our Chinchi friend right there, we were struggling to siege it because we needed multiple warriors. Well, with a city wall, we'll need even more warriors to siege. So a city wall is very useful if your city's gonna get attacked. And then the resources, that's just the default option. When you upgrade this city, you get 5 stars, which is a very handy upgrade. Like, I spent 6 stars to upgrade it, and I get 5 stars back. So there's a lot of strategy that goes behind spending your stars, how you do it during your turn. But let's not get into the strategy, let's just understand the mechanics first. So I'll move this warrior onto the village, capture this, and move this warrior. Now in this position, I actually have 2 options. Obviously, I can train all these warriors, but I can also start harvesting these fruit. That's actually exactly what I'll do here. So this city has only 2 rectangles. You can see them separated by a thin line. So all I need to do is get these 2 fruit. Each fruit and each animal costs 2 stars to get. When you get the fruit, it turns into a regular field tile. When you get the animal, it turns into a forest tile. Makes sense. So as you upgrade from level 1 to level 2, you get the explorer I showed you before, but you also get the workshop. And the workshop is pretty much 1 extra star per turn, which is very, very handy. We can go from +7 to +8 stars per turn, and more money is always nice. Now, the explorer in the bootcamp, the first one, is actually really, really sad and really bad, but all of the other cities have proper explorers. So if I select the explorer here, you'll notice it goes a long, long way. As you can see, the explorer went, and it explored quite a bit of the terrain. I was kind of looking for it to go towards the tribe, but it's random, so it's not a very good. They've improved the AI behind it, but it's still not great. But in the corner of each map, this is a very new feature that they've added, you have the lighthouse. So the lighthouse is a very simple, it's a very simple kind of mechanic. All it does is when you discover that tile, it just adds 1 to your population, 1 population to your capital. And so as you can see, one of the rectangles to the left is highlighted blue, which means we have 1 population in there. Also, the square dot means we've trained 1 warrior, which is this warrior. As it captures the village, as I've mentioned, this dot will disappear, and this warrior's population cap will be moved onto this village. Now, the blue in the lighthouse also indicates that we have discovered it, and that our opponent hasn't yet. If there was also a red here, which is the color of our enemy tribe, it would mean that they also have this vision on this lighthouse. So moving on, I've ended my turn because there's nothing else I can do. So now let's just chillax a bit, train some warriors, capture a village. There we go, end our turn. So here I can also upgrade this village. And thankfully, the option for each level up is not random. It's going to be the same. So for the first level up, it's always a workshop or an explorer. This time I'll pick a workshop, and as you can see at the top, we went from +9 to +10. The stars here were different because this city level was 2. If you remember, at the very start of the game, we upgraded it. It was already level 2, and because we upgraded it to level 3, we gave a different result for that city. Now also, if you want to get the tile beneath the unit, all you need to do is select the unit and then select that tile again, and you can see that tile. So select the unit, select the tile. Moving on, we'll meet Chinchi again. There we go. And we'll move on to the village. Just spam a bunch of warriors. There we go. So now I actually want to research a technology. So to do that, all I have to do is to go into the check tree, and you get a lot of options, which I don't want to give too big of an introduction to because there's a lot of different things you can do here. But you have 5 main lines as indicated by the Imperious head. You have the hunting line, the riding line, the organization, climbing, fishing. So the fishing line is where we can finally sail the 7 seas and build a powerful naval army. In the fishing line, we have multiple different types of ships that we can use to attack our opponent. And we can also, as I said, finally start getting onto those pesky water tiles. Now, as I research this fishing tech, we can now move on to these water tiles, but warriors by default can't actually move onto those tiles. I mean, when have you seen an army swim without an actual ship? So to do that, what we actually need to do is to get a port. So ports are these extensions you can do on a water tile. So just like a hunting, you can harvest a wild animal that is on a tile. For ports, you can put them on any water tile. So, sorry, not any water tile, it has to be within your border. So I can't put a port here, but I can put a port here. And the handy thing about ports, they add 1 population. Now, you should really get a hang of this tech tree because I am starting to get a little bit ahead of myself now, especially since I've introduced to you the population of the cities, but just bear with me. Now that you can put down a port, it'll add 1 population. We see the blue light up. Now there's only 2 population needed to upgrade this city. And now as I select this warrior, as you can see, I have the option to move it onto the port. And boom, we've now created a raft. This is the most basic form of a boat. It cannot attack, but it can move through water, which is absolutely amazing. If I end the turn here and refresh all of the unit movements, as you can see, not only can it move onto these other water tiles, but it can also move 2 tiles. So it can't move onto these deeper ocean tiles because I don't have the technology researched yet, but I can actually scoop and move onto this village. Now, as I move onto the village, obviously boats can't just go on land, so the raft automatically just spans. And as I end turn, you can see that this warrior actually cannot move onto the ocean anymore because the boat is gone. But I can just capture this village and just get another port. Don't worry about what's happening here with these links. I'll explain that at a later note as well. But if we end our turn, we can move on to the port, as you can see. And there we go, we've got our raft back. Awesome. Now, as we get fishing, we can also harvest all of this yummy looking fish. Each fish provides 1 population and costs 2 stars. Now, this city I've already upgraded it. As you remember, I've got it in a workshop. And so for this upgrade, we see the city wall and the resources again. This time I'll pick resources and just start getting some ports. There you go. Move towards that ruin. So yeah, just try to explore around with the boot camp a little bit, play around with it, get the fishing tech, try and just get some ports down, and maybe start looking into all of the other techs. Anyway, if I capture this village, and I'm probably just end turn. Hey mate, what are you doing? It should be very friendly, so I don't think it'll capture that city, but yeah, don't leave your cities open. This can be very easily prevented by just training a warrior, and they need 3 warriors to take it out. They only got like 1 in the surrounding. Warriors can only move 1 tile, so should be good to get it. Anyway, we will be training all of our units and then just chilling with our rafts. So rafts I would describe as kind of two king movements. So the way you can see unit movements in Polytopia, unlike chess where it's a bishop has a very clear line where it can just move on a diagonal non-stop, or a rook, they behave kind of like multiple king movements. So the way it works is this raft has a movement of 2, if you can see, as you can see, and this warrior has a movement of 1. What that means is that this raft can make 2 king movements in a turn. So it can go from here to here. Of course, it has to do those 2 movements at the same time. It can't just move here and then you select it and move it from here to here. You have to actually select that style. Otherwise, it doesn't actually, you can't actually select it to go to that tile. Now if I end my turn, this man's just chilling. Alright. I've also harvested a ruin, and the result from the ruin was population, which is great because I actually have to show you all of the different upgrades that from each of the level of the cities. So aside from the workshop explorer from level 1 and the city wall and resources from level 2, there's 2 more branches that as you upgrade the city more. Here you have the branch for population growth or border growth. This is a very good upgrade, and it can either help you get a very strong unit early on, which I'll show you in a second what I mean by that, or you can start expanding your borders. I'll show you the upgrade in a second. What I want to actually do is put population growth, and what population growth does is it adds 3 population to the city. So it makes it a lot easier to upgrade it. The bar will fill up by 3 as I pick population growth, as you can see. And because of the ruin here that went for population, it actually gives me 3. And I only needed 1 population initially to upgrade it. I got population growth, got another 3. Then I got 2 more from here to actually upgrade it to the next level. Sorry if you can't keep on track, but we now have 2 options here. We can either pick a park or a super unit. A park gives you another extra star per turn, kind of like the workshop, but on top of that gives 250 extra points. This is great if you're playing perfection, where you're trying to get a lot of points, but here I'm treating this kind of like domination, where we're trying to wipe out our enemy. So I'll actually select this super unit here, which is our giant. Now, as you can see, all of these units are at 10 health. Our giant is at 40 health. It's a giants are very strong units. And the only way to get them is by upgrading your cities, and they are actually very, very limited. Move all of our units. Harvest star fruit. As you can see, we also have the Park of Fortune icon here. So this can be placed. So we get the Park of Fortune by the metropolis city. And what that pretty much means is the first time you get a giant, or the first time you actually upgrade this city to level 5, which is what it needs to get a giant or a park, you actually get this metropolis task completed. So if you press game stats, there's actually tasks that the game wants you to complete to kind of reward you. There's also the explorer, which is the find all lighthouses, pretty much means go to all of the corners of the map. Fun fact, this is quite a new addition. In the old edition, it was to explore every fog tile in the map, and it was also locked under the navigation tick. But here it's a lot easier to obtain now. We also have the network, which is connecting 5 cities to a capital. What that pretty much means is, as you can see, all of these port connections, all of these are connecting, all of these kind of connect to your main capital. It's kind of like setting up a trade route to your main capital. If you put a port next to the city, it connects to the capital and gives 1 extra population to the capital and this city. So a port gives 1 population, and then you get, as you saw, it connects the city giving it one extra population, and I can actually upgrade this city again. Pretty awesome. Now, as I was talking, we get the metropolis completed by getting a level 5 city, and we can actually put down a Park of Fortune. We can't put it everywhere, can't put it outside the borders, and we actually can't put it on mountains or forest terrain. We can put it on water, can't put it on ocean tiles. We can put it on the water tile, we can put it on the field tile, the farm tile, all of the more empty tiles. So if I put the Park of Fortune here, all of these types of monuments that you can use give 3 population. So 3 population also adds 400 points of score. That's good if you're doing perfection. But you only get 1 monument per each task complete. So it's kind of useful for more deeper tactics as you go along. Maybe you try to use a monument to maybe get another giant in this city, for example. Or maybe this city. Or just raise your economy as I've done here. I've pretty much upgraded this city for completely free and got 5 extra stars. Regardless, I'm gonna move on. So there we go. Move my units forward. Here's the Chinchi warrior. Just leave this man alone. And another feature, by the way, when I have went and explorer here, you may have noticed that it actually didn't really go on these short tiles. And that's because I didn't have the fishing tech researched. But now, if I go and explorer here, it actually goes onto the water terrain. And also, as you saw here, it actually avoided these ocean tiles because to move on to these tiles, I need to research sailing, which is the next tick here. As you can see, enables movement in the ocean. So that's not only for your own units, but also for the explorers. I hope I'm not overloading you too much with information. Again, if you're really struggling to keep on at this point, what I recommend you do, just boot up a game of Polytopia, play on boot camp, and just kind of try to move around your warriors, get familiar with how the game looks, the basics of moving all the units, and start looking into fishing, start looking into all of the techs. Generally, you also want to be upgrading your cities, harvesting fish, trying to get that population and city upgraded. There you go. And there you go. And also, I'll show you border growth right here. So I've upgraded the city from level 3 to level 4. Because all of the rewards for each of the levels are set. Let's go border growth now. As you can see, all of a sudden we get more kind of border, a bigger border now. If I select the city, it also helps show the difference where all of the borders kind of meet between all the cities. This is very helpful if you want to add the population. Like if you want to find out what tile will add to the population of what city. Because if we went border growth here, before capturing this village, what would have happened is it would have expanded towards these tiles as well. And so even after I capture this village, if I harvested those fish, they would go to this city. Because I went border growth initially, right? And all of these tiles got pre-selected by this city. So if there was a village here now, for example, all of these tiles would be ours. Skip my turn. Try and give a better... Oh, there we go. Thank you, Chinchi. You've given me a good example. Excellent helper. So, as you can see, they also went border growth. And I can also select the enemy cities to see their borders. But because they went border growth, before I captured this village, if I capture this village now, I actually miss out on the kind of borders here. So, Chinchi actually... making crazy moves, crazy strats right here, despite being being the easiest bot. Let me get this rune. I'm pretty sure it's preset for everything here is preset for this single bootcamp. So all the runes I get are the same. If you remember, I got the star rune in the previous kind of run. So there we go. Capture this village, and then. Actually, let me show you. I'm going to get sailing here, which enables movement in the ocean. And I'll go ahead and get an explorer. There you go. As you can see, it's moving onto the ocean tiles now. But it's still not moving onto the mountain tiles. That's because I don't have climbing, which is this tick. So there's a lot of ticks that are kind of enable movement. 3 mainly. I'm getting them to kind of just introduce you to a few of the ticks. There's a lot of other things you can do here, like destroy tiles, or convert tiles, transform tiles. You can do a lot of really cool stuff, but I don't want to overcomplicate it for you. Obviously, maybe in one of the next videos I'll go over everything, but just keep it simple for now. I'll put a port down here. As you can see, I need 2 population left, so I'll just upgrade this city. And by the way, for each upgrade of the city, I get 1 extra star per turn. And I wouldn't recommend you just randomly add a population that actually does nothing to the stars per turn. This actually just pretty much did nothing. All I did was lose 2 stars. And if I'm not planning to upgrade this city this turn, it's a complete loss of stars this turn. We can do a lot more cooler things with those stars, like maybe research attack, train some warriors, or just upgrade other cities if need be. When a city is sieged, by the way, you actually don't gain the stars per turn, because that wouldn't necessarily make any sense. How would they pay their overlords because when their city is being completely set aflame and the warriors of the enemy's tribe are causing chaos? That does not make sense. I actually am kind of losing on stars by this Chinchi warrior just chilling on it. It can capture it, it's just not. So, pro strats right there. Now, I'll just get climbing here for the sake of it, and do an explorer here as well. And there we go, as you saw, we actually went onto the mountain, and because we actually found all of the lighthouses, as you can see here, we actually get a monument, the Eye of God. There you go, the explorer had nowhere else to explore, but we get a monument now, because we've completed another one of the tasks here, explorer, and I can just plop this monument anywhere really. And yeah, let's just end turn. There you go. This guy's very persistent. So there you go, they're attacking me now. And they captured the city, how dare they? Let me just shove a giant up them. Show them who's boss. Anyway, I'm just gonna take out all of their units. Heal. All of their attackers were pointless. I've got the 3 warriors here to attack. Great thing about mountains, by the way, you get defense bonuses. It's good to put all of your units on mountains. Also, for a mountain, you may have noticed when the explorer went initially, it explored all of the fog tiles in a 2-tile range. So mountains let you explore a lot more. Doesn't necessarily say here, but I'll provide you a video example. We'll just capture this village. And actually, let's just move on to here. Try and get this village. Now, by the way, you may have noticed, all of a sudden, we've actually got some starfish, or we've got some new tiles just randomly appearing. And that's because as we unlock technologies, we also unlock new forms of vision. Farms, for example, they were unlocked straight away because we started as a tribe with organization. Not all tribes can automatically harvest fruit. It's because it's our tribe. And it also shows up the farms. When I got climbing, we now have the vision to see metal. And to get the metal, we need to get mining. And for starfish, it's because we got sailing, which enables us to see the starfish. And next turn, if we can research navigation, we can harvest these starfish. There we go. And turn. Now this giant, by the way, as you saw, 1 shot. So look at this, just absolute beast of a unit giants are. Much stronger than warriors. It takes 10 warriors to kill a giant, and 6 out of those warriors will just automatically die. Giants, very strong units, by the way. If you can rush and upgrade your cities really fast, you'll be doing well. As I capture this city, as you can see, the tribe doesn't actually get wiped out because I haven't captured all of their cities. Once I capture this city, I've destroyed the tribe, and now as you can see, the unit here just disappears. Aside from that, by the way, regarding recover, you don't actually have to necessarily just tap to recover. You can just end your turn and the unit automatically recovers. So I think that's should be enough for the first type of guide, especially since this is maybe your first game. Don't try to overcomplicate it too much. Just try and have a little bit of fun, take down the tribe, and just chill out, upgrade cities, maybe research a tech or two, maybe try and get a rider. And by the way unit unlocks work is when you select a city, instead of just training a warrior, you also have the option to train that other unit, so like a rider here. And all of them have all of their different type of new kind of mechanics. This one can move a little bit faster because it's on a horse. Horses are generally faster than humans. And yes, just play around, try and get the ruins, upgrade some cities, try and get a few giants. And yeah, as I press end turn, it's 30 out of 30. And in the bottom right, you can see finish game. This will also pop up in domination if you destroy all the tribes. And voila, victory. Thank you so much for watching the newbie guide. Hopefully I didn't overload you with all of the information too much. Play a game, try it out. It's a very, very fun game once you get into it, and have a lovely day.